to record in the house?
Yes. So I did.
But it was your house.
Yes, our house. So, I mean, I know he's explained it 1,000 different ways online. He has documented our entire divorce on the Simon Show online, and then I have the Housewives, I suppose. But, yeah, there is paperwork in place that would make it a marital property 50-50 split. Outside of that being enforced, it is a premarital property or whatever.
It's wild how fast life can flip. 1 minute you're smiling for the cameras, posing in front of a mansion that looks like a dream, and convincing the whole world that your story is wrapped in gold. And then suddenly, everything you built starts slipping through your fingers like water you can't hold on to no matter how tight you squeeze.
Like me and my fans do respect, I'm transparent. So even though it didn't turn out the story that I wanted to share, I still was open with what I had.
That's the storm Porsha Williams found herself in, standing in the middle of a mess so big, the sparkle couldn't hide it anymore. And what nobody expected was how deeply this moment would hit her. Because this wasn't just losing a house. This was losing the image she fought so hard to create, the sense of stability she thought she had secured.
Just because you're going through a divorce doesn't mean you hate someone. I hate actions, I hate lies, I hate a lot of characteristics, but I love the person, and I would never wish harm on anybody. And at the end of the day, I know that he's the type of person, he's a slithering snake. He's gonna find his way out of it, I'm sure he'll be fine.
And the confidence she carried every time she walked into a room. People saw her on Instagram, living lavishly in that Buckhead mansion, hosting events and showing off a new beginning with Simon. But behind those beautiful pictures was a reality she never imagined she'd face. When the court stepped in and said she had to leave the home she once proudly claimed as her own, it shook her to the core. And as the truth unraveled, it became clear that this wasn't just a legal setback, it was the kind of emotional blow that makes a person crumble behind closed doors. Let's unpack what really pushed Porsha into this breaking point, how the situation spiraled so fast, and why she's now fighting tears while the world watches every move.
Voicing now through this process for a whole year, and it's caught up with what I had to do. So like emotionally, I feel like I'm ready to be done with it, I'm ready to heal, ready to move on.
To understand why this hit her so hard, you have to go back to the beginning of her relationship with Simon. When Porsha stepped into this whirlwind romance, she was coming out of a period where she desperately wanted a fresh start. She wanted love that felt stable, a home that felt secure, and a life that didn't revolve around drama and heartbreak. For years, she had dealt with public relationships that either fell apart or left her explaining herself to people who didn't even know half of her real story. So when Simon entered the picture, she saw him as someone who could bring her a kind of certainty she hadn't felt in a long time.
Like in any relationship, especially mine, I thought we had the best communication. Like, I was so proud of how we communicated. Like, that's a part of what made me trust him. I have been harmed by men in my past, and in many ways. And so it's hard for me to trust, it's hard for me to truly love. And so people will look at him and look at me and be like, I don't understand the correlation, it must be the money. How? I already had a lot of the stuff that I have now then anyway.
He came with big promises, flashy displays of wealth, and a lifestyle that seemed solid. And Porsha leaned into it. She believed in the idea of building something new with him. Their connection grew too fast for some people, but she didn't care. She wanted joy. She wanted comfort. She wanted the kind of relationship that made her feel chosen. So when Simon showed her that Buckhead mansion, presented it like a future they would share, she embraced it wholeheartedly. The problem was, she didn't look closely at the cracks forming underneath all that shine. That house wasn't in her name. The finances weren't hers to control. She trusted that everything was properly handled because, to her, that's what a husband does, he protects the home. She moved in, decorated it, filmed in it, and treated it like her own sanctuary. For Porsha, that mansion represented new love, new beginnings, new status. She saw it as a sign that she was finally stepping into a phase where things would be stable. But behind the scenes, foreclosure warnings were piling up. Notices were being ignored. Payments weren't being made. And every time the bank tried to get Simon's attention, it was brushed aside like it wasn't serious. By the time divorce talk surfaced, the financial foundation of that home was already crumbling. So when Porsha found out that the home she lived in so proudly was slipping into foreclosure, she felt betrayed. She had created a life inside those walls. She had trusted that Simon was handling his responsibilities. She had assumed the stability she'd been showing the world was real. But here's the twist. The moment she filed for divorce, Simon flipped the narrative. He went to the court and asked them to remove her from the home. He argued that she had no legal right to stay there because her name wasn't on the documents. He claimed he'd already given her time to leave and even offered moving help. And when she didn't pack up fast enough, he pushed harder. And that's when the court stepped in, making things official, making things cold, and stripping away the last bit of comfort Porsha had left from that relationship. Suddenly, she wasn't just dealing with heartbreak or a messy divorce. She was dealing with the loss of a home she had emotionally invested in. The court's decision wasn't gentle. It wasn't sensitive. It didn't care about how many memories she had created there. It was final. But here's where things get even more complicated. Porsha didn't want to show up in court in person. Her team said she had emotional stress and scheduling conflicts. They argued she should be allowed to appear virtually. They even mentioned she might have international work opportunities. But the timing was questionable. No job details were given. No explanation about the sudden need to travel. It made people wonder if she simply didn't want to face Simon in person, especially after he pulled the move that pushed her out of the mansion. Still, Simon insisted everything needed to happen face to face. He wasn't letting her take the easy route. And the tension around that alone made everything heavier. Porsha felt cornered, overwhelmed, and frustrated. She had spent years trying to reinvent herself, to step away from mess and chaos. And here she was, dragged into a courtroom fight where every weakness was put under a spotlight. What nobody expected was how deeply this moment broke her down emotionally. Porsha has always been strong. She's always found a way to smile even when her life was falling apart. But losing this home wasn't like losing a handbag or missing out on an opportunity. This was losing a piece of the identity she built with the world watching. That house had become part of her brand, part of her storyline, part of the illusion that everything in her life was finally aligning the way she wanted. The foreclosure exposed everything she didn't want people to see. It showed that the relationship she defended wasn't as solid as she believed. It showed that the lifestyle she presented wasn't as stable as she made it look. And when she had to pack up and leave, it felt like the world was watching her fail in real time. Let's talk about what that does to a person. Losing a home isn't just about relocation. It affects your pride, your daily routine, your sense of safety. That mansion was where she celebrated holidays, filmed cute moments with her daughter, and welcomed friends. She filled that house with dreams and intentions. So having it taken away hits on a deeper level. It tells you that the image you had of your life wasn't real. And when you're a public figure, that pain is magnified. People judge you. They whisper. They create narratives about your choices, your intelligence, your relationships. Porsha has always been judged harshly, and this situation added another layer to that pressure. She isn't just dealing with financial consequences, she's dealing with emotional wounds. Professionally, this situation could affect her career too. Brands love stable partnerships. They love influencers who look like they have everything under control. Now, she's suddenly tied to legal drama, financial issues, and a messy divorce. It's the kind of scandal that can make companies pause before signing deals. And she knows that. She knows how one wrong move can shift the entire way the public sees her. And she's trying to hold herself together while the internet picks apart every detail. But here's the real heartbreak. She trusted Simon. She believed in the life he promised. And now she's facing the truth that he may not have been who she thought he was. The foreclosure. The eviction request. The lack of financial responsibility. The immigration issues swirling around him. The in-person court demand. All of it feels like one blow after another. It's the kind of betrayal that shakes your confidence in your own judgment. And now, while she's trying to rebuild her life, she has to start from scratch. Emotionally. Financially. Personally, this isn't just a story about a mansion being taken away. It's a story about a woman realizing that the version of love she believed in wasn't built on solid ground. It's about facing humiliation while still trying to stand tall. It's about learning that wealth, status, and flashy photos don't guarantee stability. Now she's left with the pieces, trying to figure out what her next chapter looks like. And honestly, that's the part that hurts the most, realizing that something she thought was forever was actually temporary. When the cameras stop rolling and the posts disappear, Porsha is still a woman dealing with heartbreak, disappointment, and the heavy weight of public judgment. She's still a mother trying to protect her daughter from the chaos. She's still trying to create a future that feels safe. And even though the world sees headlines and court documents, behind it all is someone who genuinely tried to make her marriage work. But here's the good news. Sometimes losing something isn't the end. Sometimes it's the beginning of a new path you didn't know you needed. And as painful as this moment is, it might be the push Porsha needed to rebuild her life on a foundation that's truly hers without depending on anyone else. Because once you hit rock bottom, the only place left to go is up. And as messy as this situation looks, one thing is clear: Porsha isn't done yet. She's bruised. She's hurting. But she's still standing. And that alone proves she has more strength than anyone expected. What do you think? Is this the wake-up call Porsha needed? Or does this situation mark the start of an even bigger storm? What makes this moment so heartbreaking is that Porsha never imagined she would be standing at a crossroads like this. She thought she had finally stepped into a chapter filled with clarity, comfort, and steady ground. For years, she battled judgment, rumors, and one broken relationship after another. She hoped this marriage would quiet the noise and give her a peaceful home where she could breathe without defending herself. But now, as she watches everything fall apart, she's left asking questions she never thought she'd have to ask. She's wondering where the love went, why things were covered up, and how she missed so many signs that were right in front of her. And that confusion weighs on her in ways even the cameras can't capture. When you put your trust in someone, you don't just hand over your heart, you hand over dreams, future plans, and the belief that you're building something that will last. Porsha invested moments, secrets, and hopes into a life she was proud to show the world. And having that ripped away piece by piece hits harder than anything she has faced publicly. Losing that mansion wasn't just about property. It symbolized the life she thought she had created. Every hallway held a memory, every room held a laugh, every corner carried a vision she believed would grow into something stronger. Stepping out of that front door for the last time meant stepping into uncertainty, and no amount of confidence can soften the sting of that. But what truly broke her down was realizing that the man she defended, praised, and protected wasn't standing beside her when she needed support the most. Instead of working things out privately or offering compassion, he took legal steps that turned their personal problems into a battlefield. Watching him push for her removal, especially after everything she gave emotionally, felt like a final twist of the knife. It's the kind of pain that makes you rethink every conversation, every promise, and every moment when you believed in the wrong person. And that realization lingers long after the judge signs the papers. Still, even in the middle of this emotional storm, Porsha is discovering truth she ignored for too long. She's learning that sometimes the universe shakes your world not to punish you, but to pull you out of situations that no longer serve your spirit. The chaos forces you to look beyond the surface, to question the foundation beneath the luxury and the smiles in photos.